older gentleman from ODNR, he comes out and he runs a camera down my well, and you can actually see what the direction is that my water's coming from. Well, my water comes from the north, and it flows in a southwestern direction. ODNR says it comes from the south, and it flows eastward in a northern direction, which is impossible. But that was something else they said. So I have to do all my own investigating, because in order to have somebody else do it for me, it cost me about $40,000, and I can't afford that. So I contact ODNR, and I have them send me all these copies of everything they got. And then I get all these things from them, and I'm putting it together and trying to figure this out. And I'm like, oh my God. We do have one drilling person here, right, who's in the business. Have you ever seen a cement ticket where they actually came out, put the pipe in, cemented it in, that's the conductive casing, then they put the surface casing in 557 feet down, cemented that in, but according to their drilling log, they never started drilling until after both of those were done. Is that possible? Now ODNR says it is. So you gotta understand something here. If you do get involved in this kind of stuff, don't trust them. I mean, this is my personal opinion, you know, and from what I see in those records, I have to say that because my wife makes me, but if they do drill near you, do drill near you, you want to make sure you keep taking notes. Talk to all your neighbors, watch them. Mark down the times that they're there, the times the cement trucks come in. Watch when the water trucks come in. They say it takes 1 million gallons to drill a vertical well of water. Now that's 200 trucks. Now over in Allerdale Park, they drilled 2 of them. So that's 400 trucks of water that had to be hauled in. I never saw one. So the only thing I can figure is when they drilled into my aquifer. Because in all the test results that I've gotten, all the forms from them, they keep remarking about where the water is when they're drilling. When they actually drilled down, the inspector from ODNR actually said they hit a geyser. It was like this huge amount of water shooting up out of the ground. Well, my wife tells the guy, yeah, that's our water. And then he just shut up, never brought it up again. Now, the formation of the rock formation is where I'm at. It starts off with dirt and clay and stuff at about 10 feet of drop. It turns into shale. And that went down to about 60 feet. Then it's sand and gravel until it hits my aquifer. Now, from what I've been able to, my research tells me, the sand and gravel where the water flows through, that's not going to produce enough pressure to shoot the water out. So it means they had to go into the sandstone where my water was in order for it to shoot up. And if there's that much pressure, when you try to cement into your casing, that water is just going to keep rushing into that cement and never going to let that cement set up properly. So when it doesn't set up properly, that gave way for the gas and all the other stuff that came up into my aquifer. But of course ODNR says no, it was a drought. It's really tough because when you have these issues, these problems, you have to go through the court system, and it costs a lot of money. Money I didn't have. We actually filed a lawsuit. We had to dismiss it because I had all my information, but I wasn't allowed to use it because I'm not an expert. So they made a motion to dismiss because we didn't hire an expert. So we dismissed it. And as soon as we dismissed it, they filed a lawsuit against us for $45,000 for a wrongful lawsuit. Just so you know, I mean, these companies, they're horrible. I know times are tough right now, and free money sounds great. But if you can look at that water and tell me, you want your kids to bathe in it? We didn't have any other water. We had to shower in that. We had to wash our dishes in that. We didn't use it for cooking. We got other water from that. Eventually, Columbia Gas came out because the gas level in our house got so high. I worked for the fire department, so I took a meter home, called my chief, let him know what it was. He called Columbia Gas, the fire department came out, and they're checking their system out. He also called ODNR, and the inspector came out to my house. Well, the inspector's over at my wellhead with his meter, and the type of meter he has, you have to squeeze this bulb in order to suck the air up into the detector to tell you what it is. Thank you. And he's not doing that. And he's going, Mark, this is nothing. It's only 3% LEL. And I go, well, you're not using your meter properly. He goes, what are you talking about? I go, you need to squeeze that bulb to pull it up in there. We have this big fight going on. The two of us were butting heads. And Columbia Gas was still on scene, and I go, well, Columbia Gas is right here. Let's have them come over and check the meter with their meter. I'll trust theirs. Well, just as I do that, Columbia Gas guy starts walking over, and he squeezes his bulb. He gets a 77.8% LEL rating. And they did nothing. They never went into my house to see how much gas was in my house. I had so much gas in my house. Just turning on a sink, it was 33% LEL. If I would have went into my bathroom, lit a candle, turned on this sink, turned on this sink, turned on my shower, walked out and closed the door, in less than 10 minutes my house would have blown up. And ODNR did nothing. They said the company wasn't to blame, they did nothing wrong. ODNR even actually said that they were there present when they cemented in these casings. How are they present when they cemented in these casings when the casings were done according to the drilling log before they ever drilled? ODNR is not your friend. Because of what happened in my situation, after I dismissed my lawsuit and I couldn't afford the experts, so I contacted the FBI, I contacted Ohio Inspector General's office, and I contacted the federal EPA. And right now, ODNR is under investigation by all of them. They actually formed a team and are investigating. I don't know what else to say other than, like I said, I know the money looks good, and we can all use it. Think about your kids. Think about your grandkids. Think about your neighbors. Drilling a gas well is going to affect all of them. And I know drilling can be done safely. But if you're not going to monitor it correctly, certain companies out there aren't going to follow the guidelines. They're going to cheapen it, just like everybody read in the paper today about BP, how they talked about the cement casing was what caused the problems there. We need more regulations. We need to be tougher on them. We all need to call our senators and our House of Representatives and tell them how we feel and what we want. I mean, they're going to start drilling in the parks now. They start drilling in the parks and they wreck those aquifers. Those aquifers feed hundreds of thousands of people. So who's going to pay for the water to be brought to these people? I mean, just think, city water's going to have to go everywhere. You think the gas company's going to pay for it? Nah, they're going to go out of business. And we're all going to pay for it. So contact them, call them, write them,